The world held its breath in the year 1453. The sky above Constantinople burned with the light of cannon fire. Across the Bosphorus, the sea carried the echoes of prayers, battle drums, and the clash of destiny. For over 1,000 years, the city had stood unbroken, the mighty capital of Byzantium. But now a young sultan stood before its walls, determined to fulfill a prophecy spoken centuries before. He was just 21 years old. His name was Mehmet. How did a young Muslim ruler achieve what empires before him could not? How did faith turn a dream into one of the greatest triumphs in human history? Mehmet was born in 1432 in Edirne, the capital of the Ottoman Empire. From birth, he was surrounded by scholars, warriors, and statesmen, raised not only to lead, but to learn. He mastered Arabic, Persian, Latin, Greek, and Turkish. He studied mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy. But above all, he memorized the Quran and was taught that true power lies not in armies, but in conviction. From his teachers, he heard a hadith that would shape his destiny. "Verily, you shall conquer Constantinople. What a wonderful commander will her commander be, and what a wonderful army will that army be." These words of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, became Mehmet's guiding star. He believed that if he lived with faith, discipline, and justice, perhaps he could be that commander. As a young prince, Mehmet faced trials early. At 12, he was briefly made sultan, a move by his father, Sultan Mehmed II, to prepare him for rule. But rebellion and political pressure forced his father's return to power. From that moment, Mehmet swore that when his time came, he would never waver. He surrounded himself with scholars and strategists, men like Akşemseddin, the wise Sufi mentor who taught him that every victory begins within the soul. Akşemseddin reminded him that the greatest fortress to conquer is the heart itself. Years passed and Mehmet grew into a man of vision and resolve. He rebuilt his army, reformed his administration, and studied every failed attempt to take Constantinople. He understood that to win, he would need not just soldiers, but unity in innovation. By 1451, his father had passed away, and Mehmet ascended the throne once more, this time ready. The Byzantine Empire was weakened, reduced to the city itself and a few outposts. But Constantinople's walls, the Theodosian walls, were legendary. Triple-layered stone fortifications, towering over the land and unbroken by centuries of siege. Yet Mehmet believed that no wall was stronger than the will of Allah. He began preparing for the inevitable confrontation. Across the narrow strait of the Bosphorus, he built a massive fortress, Rumeli Hisara, in just 4 months. It was both a declaration and a warning. The city's time was near. He commissioned the Hungarian engineer Urban to forge the largest cannons the world had ever seen. Massive bronze beasts capable of hurling stone balls weighing half a ton. For months, his men trained, his ships were built, and his army, over 80,000 strong, readied for what would become one of history's most legendary sieges. In April 1453, the siege began. The Ottomans encircled the city by land and sea. The air filled with the rhythm of drums and the thunder of cannon fire. Day after day, the mighty walls shook, but held. Inside the city, the Byzantines prayed. Outside, Mehmet led his soldiers in Salah, prayer, on the battlefield. Weeks passed. The defenders grew weary, but so did the attackers. Mehmet refused to give in. He was not merely fighting for territory. He was fighting for faith, for history, for destiny. Then came one of the most astonishing military maneuvers ever recorded. The Golden Horn was protected by a massive iron chain, blocking Ottoman ships from entering. So Mehmet ordered his fleet to be carried over land. In one night, with wooden logs, grease, and the strength of thousands, Ottoman ships rolled across the hills and re-entered the sea behind the enemy lines. When the Byzantines awoke, they saw the impossible: Ottoman sails on the Golden Horn. Now the city was surrounded on all sides. The cannons roared, The walls began to crumble, and Mehmet prepared for the final assault. He rode before his men, his armor gleaming beneath the dawn light, and raised his sword high. O soldiers of Islam, before you lies the city promised by our beloved Prophet. Fight not for wealth, nor for fame, but for Allah, for His messenger, and for the honor of our faith. The cry, Allahu Akbar, thundered across the battlefield. And as the sun rose on May 29th, 1453, Constantinople fell. When the city gates opened, the world changed forever. Mehmet dismounted his horse, walked through the shattered walls, and fell to his knees in sujud, prostration, thanking Allah for victory. He declared that no harm would come to the people of the city. He called the patriarchs, the priests, the Jews, granting them safety, homes, and the freedom to worship. He did not destroy Constantinople. He revived it. The Hagia Sophia, long a church, was respectfully converted into a mosque, its beauty preserved, its call to prayer now echoing across the city. And the city was given a new name, Istanbul, the heart of the Ottoman world. Mehmet dreamed of a capital where faith and knowledge could live side by side, where scholars, artists, and builders would make a new golden age of civilization. Under his reign, Istanbul flourished. Madrasas, libraries, mosques, and markets rose from its streets. People from every land came to live, trade, and learn. Mehmed the Conqueror was not just a man of war, he was a man of vision. He respected scholars and poets, spoke with philosophers, and studied science and law. He saw Islam not as a boundary, but as a bridge, guiding humanity toward knowledge, compassion, and justice. He ruled not with arrogance, but with humility, remembering that power belongs to Allah alone. Sultan Mehmet II's legacy would outlive him. His conquest marked the end of an empire, but the birth of a new era, one that would shape the world for centuries to come. He proved that belief and brilliance, when united, can achieve what the world calls impossible. As Allah says in the Quran, "And those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways. Indeed, Allah is with the doers of good." Surah Al-Ankabut 29:69. From the stones of Constantinople to the skyline of modern Istanbul, his legacy endures, not only in walls and minarets, but in the timeless lesson of his life. That with faith, knowledge, and perseverance, even the mightiest walls can fall. This is the story of Sultan Mehmet the Conqueror, a leader of destiny, a believer who made history, and a reminder that the impossible is only the beginning.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends and family so we can all spread beneficial knowledge, insha'Allah. Jazakum Allahu khairan, and see you in the next video.